Hello everybody and welcome back to Playtech TV. Today we're going to be looking at the Asus G550JK. This is the 1TB version. Now you may have seen this before on Linus Tech Tips or Tech Syndicate or Newegg TV, as this is the laptop they took to a top of a mountain to have a LAN party in their Highlander promotion that they did with Asus. So first let's have a look and see what it comes with in the box. So in the box it comes with cable tie, user guide, warranty information, the power supply, and also a sub which greatly improves the audio quality of this gaming laptop. Now this thing looks really good on the exterior. It has this black brushed aluminium look, and it also has the red around the front, and the Asus logo illuminates on the back. So it's a really good looking laptop, gaming laptop. It's very similar to the N550. If you've seen that before, you probably noticed how similar it looks, but I think it looks awesome, and these big aluminium spaces before the keys give really good wrist rest, and it just feels really sturdy, really quality, and that's what I really like to see. So this thing's packing some serious specs. We have an i7-4700HQ CPU in it. Now this will run at a base clock of 2.4 GHz, but it'll turbo all the way up to 3.4 GHz. It also comes with 16 GB of RAM. This is 2 times 8 GB, a 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive. Now the GPU, this is where it gets serious, an NVIDIA GTX 850M. This is a Maxwell-based GK107 GPU, and this is only used during heavy loads, so gaming and stuff like that. Otherwise, it will just use the onboard graphics provided by the CPU. Now, if we're looking in terms of the I/O, you will have already noticed that down the left-hand side, it has a SD card reader, a USB 3.0, a Blu-ray DVD combo, a secure lock, and then on the other side you'll see it has the power, audio out. This is for the sub which comes with it, HDMI, mini display port, and 2 more USB 3.0 ports, as well as a headphone jack. So the biggest improvement of this over the previous model is that it comes with, it's still 15.6 inch display, but it's an IPS panel instead of a TN panel. Now the benefit of this is that you get great viewing angles, great color reproduction, and it just looks fantastic. TN panels aren't really that necessary for a desktop application, although it's always nice to get an IPS panel. But for a laptop, when viewing angles, when you're showing things to your friends, you really do need IPS panel, and that's what this does so well. Having a TN panel, you get crazy color shifting and stuff like that, and it's just not the case with this one. Now sound, it has 4 front-facing speakers. These are pretty good. It's decent, but when you add the external sub which comes with it, the audio is fantastic and it just sounds really good. When you're not using the sub, it just sounds like it, you know, kind of laptop-y noise, although the volume can still go quite high, but that attached sub is really good and it's really worth it, and it just improves the audio so much. Now the keyboard is really easy to type with. It comes with 3 different lighting settings, and it has the instant key in the top left. So if you push it by default, it will take you to the Asus web storage. However, if you hold this down for 7 or 8 seconds, then it will pop up with the instant key toggle, and this is where you can program it to open different things or set it up however you like, which is really handy to have. Now the touchpad supports gestures, which is really good, and it's also quite sensitive, so it's nice to use. Although it's a little bit stiff, so that might take a little bit of getting used to, but otherwise it feels really good. It's very sensitive, it's very reactive, so I really liked it in that sense. So it comes with pretty decent battery life. With moderate use, you know, like web browsing or watching videos and stuff like that, you'll probably get around 3 hours out of it. However, if you're going to be gaming, it's probably going to drop down to 2 hours, maybe 1 hour, depending on the type of game you are playing. So you have to keep that in mind, and it's going to be a constant struggle with these gaming laptops is the battery life. However, it does come with some really good pre-installed software, such as Asus GPU-Z, Power for Gear Hybrid, McAfee trial, which is nice for some people, and as I explained earlier, the Asus web storage, which comes with a free 5 GB, and instant key, which I previously explained was very useful, and you can set it up for whatever you like. So performance-wise, it did pretty well, but it's nothing fantastic. I ran it in Unigine Valley. This is on the Extreme HD preset at 1080p, and it only scored an average of 13.9 frames per second. I also ran it in Unigine Heaven 4.0. This is the DirectX 11, everything maxed out, and it scored an average of 14.3 frames per second. So you're not going to be gaming on this at 1080p with everything maxed out. You should be able to run most games at 1080p, but you have to take off most of the filters and probably drop the graphics down to about a medium setting, and that way you should be able to get a good stable 30 frames per second plus. Aside from that, if you want to run things with the filters on, then you'll probably have to drop the resolution down probably to about 1600 by 900 or maybe 720p, depending on the type of game you are playing. So in conclusion, this is great for medium level gaming. It's really good value for money, and when you consider this as gaming on the go, obviously it's not going to be as powerful as a desktop, and if you're spending the same amount of money as you could spend on this on a desktop, you're going to get something much more powerful. But it's the portability that's the key. You can take this anywhere and you can game on it. You know, Linus showed, and Tech Syndicate, Logan, and all the rest of them, that you could game on top of a mountain with these and have a LAN party. So they're very sturdy, they're very well built, and they're just an amazing laptop for the price. The one downside, and the one thing I think they should have added to this, is that it really needs an SSD. A laptop in this price range, and any gaming laptop these days, should have an SSD with it. I'd rather them take away the optical drive, which means most of us don't use that often anymore, if we're honest, and add a small SSD. It doesn't need a big one, it just needs to be for the OS. It just gives it that snappiness, that fast booting that everybody likes, and that's the only thing it's lacking. The next model up obviously does have a 250 gigabyte SSD, but there's no reason why they couldn't have added a small one to this and then have the big 1 terabyte HDD for your mass storage. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, and we'll see you next time on Playtech TV.